You were born twice. The first time in the body, the second time in the mind. And it was in that second birth that everything started to go wrong. Because since then, you've been living in a world that isn't real. You live inside an idea, the idea of who you are. And that idea is your greatest enemy. But what would happen if you started to doubt that idea? What would happen if you stopped believing in the stories your mind tells you? Today, you will forget everything they said was important, and you will remember the only thing that matters. You are what was before your name, before your stories, before your fears. You are about to walk through a fire, and on the other side, the boy dies. The man is born. The theater of the mind. Since you were a child, you were taught to obey, to desire what others desire, to seek recognition, status, applause. You were raised in a culture of comparison, where having more means being more. But is having more really what you want? You weren't taught to be free. You were taught to be someone. Someone who has a role to play. Someone who must fit in. Someone who must be seen, accepted, admired. And all this time, you believed that this was your truth. But when you look inside yourself, what do you find? Is that someone you see really representing you? The mind is a stage, and the character you play is not you. It's just a construct, a role. You stepped on stage and forgot you were acting. True maturity begins the moment you stop performing. It's no longer about what you want to be, but about who you truly are, without the masks. Freedom begins when you stop fighting. You want to understand life, you want to control everything, you want to plan, prevent, guarantee results. But life does not respond to control, it responds to surrender. And when you don't understand this, the fight becomes endless. I want you to imagine a tree in a field. It doesn't fight the wind. It doesn't try to stop the rain. It just feels what happens around it and adapts. It allows itself to be. It surrenders. And the wind moves on, and the rain passes. You're fighting against the current, and you call this effort. You're trying to stop thoughts with more thoughts. You're trying to put out the fire with gasoline. But true freedom is not about controlling what happens outside. It's about understanding that nothing in the external world can touch you without your permission. A real man doesn't run from life. He walks through it, in silence. When you stop fighting, peace settles in. You're not here to win the game, but you're here to awaken. You spend your life trying to win, but win what? Comparison? Time? Death? You will never win against time. You will never win against death. But you can win over yourself. Everything you gain fades away. Everything you lose returns as a lesson. But you insist on collecting victories as if life were a competition. You measure your worth by your bank balance, your muscles, your likes, your influence. But this isn't victory. This is slavery. You live in the wheel of illusion. And when victory comes, it no longer tastes sweet. True maturity is an awakening. The moment you free yourself from the illusion that you need to be something or achieve something. The only true victory is the victory over your own mind. The true winner isn't the one who finishes first, it's the one who understands there was never a race. Pain is not the enemy, it is the master. You feel pain, loss, rejection, betrayal, doubt. But listen closely. Pain didn't come to destroy you. It came to wake you up. Pain is the cry of the soul saying, you're holding on to what's false. And the more you resist, the more it hurts. When you resist pain, you also resist growth. You were taught to run from pain. But the mature man doesn't run, he faces it. Because he understands that each scar is a map, a sign that the fire passed, but didn't consume him. The real man doesn't fear suffering. He knows that pain is temporary, but the wisdom it brings is eternal. The boy complains about pain. The man thanks and learns. The I is the most sophisticated prison. The greatest addiction of humanity is to be someone. You want to be seen as important. You want to be remembered, recognized, valued. But the truth is simple. You're not this someone. You are the consciousness that observes this character. You are the silent space between thoughts. You are the fertile void from which everything arises. As long as you identify with the I, all suffering is inevitable. But when you see the I as just a thought, everything dissolves. You realize that suffering arises from this attachment to identity. That I you think is your true essence is actually the greatest prison you could build for yourself. A real man doesn't need to prove who he is. He already knows. And this inner wisdom is freedom. Reality doesn't need you to exist. You believe the world revolves around you, but the world doesn't need you. The sun rises, the rain falls, the wind blows, the grass grows without asking permission. And yet you insist on controlling existence, on defining what's right and wrong, on judging, labeling, deciding. But reality is neutral. It's you who colors everything with your ideas. Maturity comes when you stop painting the world and start seeing it as it is. The truth cannot be spoken. You can read 1,000 books, listen to 1,000 masters, memorize 1,000 quotes. But truth isn't in words. It's in the space between them. It's in the silent gap before thought. Trying to comprehend the truth with the mind is like trying to embrace the ocean with your hands. The awakened man doesn't seek explanations. He seeks presence. Detachment, the first step to freedom. You want peace, but you don't want to give up anything. You want clarity, but you keep holding on to old stories. You want to be light, but you carry weights that are no longer yours. Freedom isn't about gaining wings. It's about letting go of the chains. It's about shedding what no longer serves you. You don't become free by acquiring something. You become free by letting go. Everything you're looking for is right here. The future doesn't exist. The past is gone. All you have is now. In this instant, you breathe, you feel, you are. There's nothing to achieve, nothing to conquer, nothing to wait for. The peace you've been searching for is already here. Just silence the noise to hear it. The awakened man doesn't live in search. He lives in a state of presence. The birth of the real man. So listen carefully. You're not what they say you are. You're not your pains, you're not your desires, you're not even your story. You are the one who watches all of this pass, without moving. The real man isn't the one who carries the world. He's the one who lets go of the world and finds himself. Now, close your eyes. Take a deep breath, and remember, everything you need is already here. Just stop, see, and be.